Yo, 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 what's up? Good evening, good evening. I know it's been a while. Is that a ghost? Is that a ghost? Nah, it's not a ghost. It's your boy Chapapa TV. What's going on, YouTube? YouTube family, subscribers, new, old, passing through. What's going on? How everybody doing tonight? It's Chapapa TV, live to you from Sao Paulo, Brazil, as usual. And tonight is gonna be a quick live to dispel the rumors, to quiet down the malarkey, to quell the fears, as I might say. But before I get into that, let's get into you guys. How everybody doing? Drop the comment. You guys know the deal. Like the video on your way in, on your way out, and tell me what's up, what's going on. Yo, it's been a while since I've been on StreamYard, and let me tell y'all that shit has changed. But yeah, it's still me, Never Bomb here. Um, Years going by fast. Year goes by faster when you're overseas. You know, the message is still the same. Get your passport. Get your stuff. Get your stuff right. You know, to just make that permanent move. I know you got the passport bros moving. I know you got the digital nomads, but just I'm telling you guys, it's a different type of peace when you have your own permanent residence with the freeze. You know, and it can't be replicated. Man. I'm just telling you, you get like that certain peace of mind when you know you're going to that airport in your hometown. And you're on a one-way flight. But besides that, quick rundown of the year. Carnival was a success in February, end of February, March. The dates for next year's Carnival, for anybody who's interested, the dates for next year's Carnival in Brazil will be, let me pull this up. I believe it's the week of President's Week next year. So yeah, Carnival starts February 13th and it goes till the 17th of February 2026. Yo, Garden Scientist, my guy, what's going on? He said, "Shop our TV, you cut up like a bag of dope." I see you, King. What's going on, King? I hope the year is going on well for you. Thank you for holding it down as always. You know, when I'm here, I appreciate you, bro. Much love. Salute to you. Hope everything's going well. But yeah, guys, those are some dates that you guys definitely want to keep. February 13th to the 17th, 2026, Carnival. The official dates of Carnival Brazil. But let me tell you guys this. The Carnival actually starts like a month before the actual dates. The dates of Carnival is like when people get off. But I'm like the partying and the blocos and the festas, they expect them to start like January. So beginning of next year, I believe Brazil is going to hit the ground running. Carnival was a little bit late this year, it was in March. But next year is back to February. More important dates for this year, the second international NFL game is happening September 5th. Same stadium here in Sao Paulo. Last year, I lived a little bit closer to the stadium, Itaquera Corinthians Arena. It was a train ride away from me, maybe like a 20-minute train ride. But I moved to Zona OSG, that's the West Zone. Moved, and it's definitely going to be a little bit further. Traffic was hectic. I'm talking about insane, just that whole entire week. You know, lots of VIPs in town, you know, police escorts shutting down the whole street. I expect it to be that way again this year, but September 5th, that's a Friday. Make sure you guys are prepared. Schedule comes out, I believe, the 14th. Schedule comes out, and I expect the tickets to go live again in June. Who are the Chargers going to face? I don't know, but we have some rumors that there are the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town to be their opponent. Chargers Chiefs, week 1 on a Friday night in Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil to be exact. That should be a good one. Next year, do expect 2 games. You're hearing it on Chop About TV. Do expect 2 games next year. One in Rio de Janeiro. I'm not a fan of the Rio games, to be honest. And I'm not a fan of Rio in particular. Just I feel Rio's overhyped. Drop a comment for me if you've been to Rio, right? But I feel like you gotta, for you to really understand what I'm saying, you have to experience other parts of it. But I feel Rio de Janeiro is over. Does anybody else feel that way? Got 10 people in the chat right now. I want to see 10 comments. I want to see 10 what's ups. Good evening. How everybody doing? How was your day? How was your weekend? How was your Easter? How is everybody doing? But let me know. Has anybody been to Rio de Janeiro? And do you feel like it's overhyped? It could be your speed, but for me, I tried living in Rio 2 months. You guys remember earlier on the channel. I tried living in Rio for 2 months, and while the vibe was enough to make me say, okay, hey, I wanna come live in Brazil, it almost felt like just another Dominican Republic. I don't know if it's because tourist aspect of it, what it was, but Rio a little bit overhyped. So let me know down in the comments. But make sure y'all liking the video on your way in, on your way out. It's good to see y'all again. As you can see, I want a little bit of information. Out here enjoying life in Brazil. The dollar. Perfect time to travel. Man, I remember, I think I came on when the dollar was like 6, and that rarely never happens. Because when the dollar is a 6, that means it's like, up there the euro. Right now, the dollar is 5.6. It fell. I don't like it, but the dollar is still in a good place. When that dollar was 6 reais, boy, $5, $10 took you a long way out here in Brazil. And yeah, they'll say, hey, it's bad for the locals, bad this, bad that. But when you're putting into the economy, and I believe this, when you're putting into the economy, wherever you live, and you're going to like the local places, not just like the places that can survive without you, the local places. I think you're doing a good deed, spending more money. But tonight's topic is the visa situation that's going on, that Brazil had now implemented for Americans. And there's some conflicts. I've seen some conflicts on the internet, and I don't believe there's any reason for Americans to be mad about it. But I'll share my thoughts on why. And I'm American. I don't feel like there's any reason for Americans to be mad about it. Especially, I've been giving you guys the notes. I've been warning you on the channel for maybe about 2 years now. I've been warning you guys, like, hey, get your stuff together for traveling and coming down to Brazil. Richard, what's going on, bro? He says, did 7 months in Rio, 1 in Sao Paulo. More English in Sao Paulo, but no Airbnb allowed a guest to even enter it. And I drove overnight days. No guests at all. Hey, the Airbnb can be an issue here, but it all depends on which. Because to be honest, bro, Rio has the same. We just got to read the rules. Rio has the same, but Rio gives less of a fuck, if you understand. Because in Rio, which I found backwards when I was living in Rio, they would actually let the delivery guy go up to your apartment. They'll let the Rappi and the iFood go up into your apartment. In the building, go up into your apartment. That is wild. For Rio de Janeiro riches, that is wild. So I get you in the Airbnb thing, but I think it's doorman's discretion, right? I think it's doorman's discretion because I have my cousin out here for Carnival, and we put him up in an Airbnb, and uh, me and the person I was with at the time just walked in there, no problem. So I think it's all doorman's discretion. You know, some Airbnbs, I'll give you that. They'll put an emphasis like, hey, no guests, whatever. But I'll say try it anyway. But it's always in the house rules. You can see in the house rules where they're like, hey, no guests, or they don't say about guests. But for me, I definitely feel like it's doorman's discretion. Because how are they gonna picture this? They have a whole building to manage, right? And they're knowing you're staying for like X amount of days or whatever. They're not gonna manage that. Go, hey, yeah, this guy's with the girl back, or this girl's with the guy back. It's the same everywhere, bro. I legit think it's building discretion, doorman's discretion, and it has nothing to do with safety at all. Tony Daniel, yeah, nah, it's different. When it comes to safety, bro, I went to Florianopolis. That's the Santa Barbara zone. And that's the safest I felt like my entire time in Brazil, my entire time in Brazil. I mean, walking the street, um, at the beach, they don't have like people hounding you. Florianopolis is the safest I felt. But for the no guesting, that don't have nothing to do with safety. It probably has to do with like Americans coming down here, going to the brothels, bringing chicks back home, making a mess. I know Americans love to make messes. Leave them and don't clean up after. Ricky, what's going on? Another one of my moderators. Thank you for being here. As the dollar is dropping worldwide, the commercial war on the world has caused it. In the DR, the dollar dropped from 63.10 to 58. Man, 58 was when I left DR. I left DR in 2022, and that's where the dollar was. Golly. I know, Ricky, I know you was feeling like some type of powerful once the dollar was in them 60s. Man, hopefully, the U.S. does what it does when it comes to, having the dollar worldwide powerful. Rich says, I don't want to be living in countries where I feel like I'm living back in Colombia, man. Even when I was in Rio, I had that feeling like I looked over my shoulder. I'm in Africa again now. Well, congrats on being back in Africa. How you feeling out there? And bro, Rio's just wild to me. Like, I don't know. It's basically its own country, man. It's like the government has no control over there. You could get robbed or hit by a spear at any point, but people love it. Like, especially the Brazilians, bro. Like for Easter, I would say all of Brazil is in Rio, in Copacabana. Brazilians love Rio, bro. For me personally, I don't get it. In Sao Paulo, um, I think it just depends where you are, how you're looking. Thank God, nothing has ever happened to me. I've had things happen to friends, but one of them, he knows he was walking in a place he wasn't supposed to be at a time he wasn't supposed to be there, and the other one is just plain bad luck. I mean, like he really sticks out as an American. Yeah, them motor boys were the big thing. But I think like everywhere in the world, you just gotta know how to manage it. But to compare Sao Paulo and Rio safety, I don't know. I would have to say this isn't being biased. I would have to say I feel safer in Sao Paulo as I do Rio de Janeiro. But I admit, compared to other places, maybe that state where they It might be Fortaleza, it might be Belgrade, but Brazilians have said that those states are safe. But definitely Floripa, when I went to Floripa, man, even though it's a little sketchy for black people, um, Floripa was nice. Nice beach, nice vibe. The safety was good. I appreciated Floripa. So no problem for me there. Still haven't gone to Salvador, man. Have you been to Salvador for Carnival? Like, I've been thinking about Salvador a lot. That's the everybody. It's kind of like Rio, bro. Everybody goes to Salvador for Carnival. So I don't know how I feel about that, but everybody join the chat. What's going on? What's going on? How you guys doing? Welcome back. Everybody's here. If you guys have any questions at all for anything Brazil, um, drop it down in the comments. Just make sure you guys are liking the video. If you guys want to help the channel out, donate to the channel right here. The Cash App is going on at the bottom. You can super chat, but Cash App and Zelle, really appreciate it. Right, so the visa, right? Thoughts? You guys think it's too harsh? Brazil's being too harsh to who is it? I think it's Americans, Canadians, and someone else. Is it just, fair? What are your thoughts on Brazil's visa requirement? And for those of you who don't know, Brazil implemented April 10th this month an e-visa now for Americans. As of April 10th, 2025, U.S. citizens require an e-visa to enter Brazil for any purpose, including tourism. The requirements reverses a previous visa exemption and applies to entry via air, sea, or land. The e-visa application process is online and costs $80.90. First rumor I want to kill for you guys is this fake post that's been going on around like Instagram and Facebook saying that Brazil requires Americans to show proof of $2,000 in a bank in order to do it. That's a lie. That is a lie. You do not have to have $2,000 in your bank account to visit Brazil. I don't know. I don't know why people do this fear mongering thing, man. Just to like, I don't hate number one. Let me share my opinion. I don't hate the e visa because the states makes it harder for anybody to get a regular tourist visa. It's super hard to get a tourist visa to go to the U.S. So I don't hate this for Brazil, right? It's $80.90 for a 5-year visa. What I don't like is for stays up to 90 days. All right. Multiple entries. And another rumor that I have to get rid of, you don't have to go to the Brazilian consulate to apply for the visa. You do it online. And for stays longer than 90 days, you require a visa or residency authorization. Now, if you guys recall a while back, Chopper Paw was telling you, hey, I just got my visa. Just renewed it, to be honest. I went and did my protocol, and my visa will now be permanent. Or what's the word for it? Inter something. Interdermiado. I'm butchering the word. But basically, all I have to do is every 9 years, I go back and I upload my picture. I update my picture. I take a new picture from my ID, and I don't have to do nothing else. But my visa is now permanent. That's one of the perks. I would assume it's the same for like Colombia or any other country here in South America. But that's one of the perks available to disabled veterans. So if you're a disabled veteran and you're trying to figure out where to plant your flag, and you're worried about, hey, I don't want to be in these countries where I have to leave every after 90 days, after so and so, after so and so. It's available to you. Need more information? Shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. But I just went through the process this month. It was a little rigorous, I won't lie, but hey, I don't have to worry about this e-visa thing going on. And for those of you who have the digital nomad, you don't have to worry about it. There are ways for the Brazilian lovers, right? If you love Brazil so much, if you see yourself like, hey, I want to invest here, I want to be here a long time, there are ways around this e-visa, right? So let's go through it. Brazil grants residency by way of retirement, aposentado. Basically, you show you have an income of, I believe it's $1,200 or $1,500 a month. You show you have that income, so you qualify for this bad boy right here that I just got. The second, marriage. And I believe civil union. Because civil union ties into family reunion. We had Mike on the channel speaking about family reunion. Third is investment. You buy property or you invest in a business, you start a business. Those are the ways you can be here long term and go around the people. Any questions on the visas or how to qualify being here long term? I don't want to do the e-visa. How can I get around it and I would stay in Brazil? I think Philly Dom was going through some issue, and I spoke to Philly like 2 years ago about it. Like, hey Philly, you got to take care of the visa thing, man. You got to figure out what you want to do. You got to get the civil union. You got to get the digital nomad. I think he was struggling on getting back to Brazil. But yeah, that's it. 5-year visa, $80. And like Richard said, for many countries, it takes 10 years to get approved for tourist visa to USA. Come on, man. 10 years, and then y'all complain, Brazil, you're doing this, you're doing that. Listen, you don't have to you don't have to show proof of money of $2,000 in your bank account to come here. But basically, Brazil's like, hey, you make it hard for our citizens to go there. All right, so your citizens got to pay to come here too. I don't know if you guys have been to the consulate here in Sao Paulo. But in the mornings, the lines go around the corner. And People, I think it's like $180 for the application. You guys know Brazil doesn't have much of a good national income. And imagine paying $180 and you probably make 300, 350 a month for application and you get rejected. So I'm not gonna complain about, hey, is this fair or not? You just gotta. I think it's fair. I think it's fair because one, I've been trying to point people in the right direction. Like for those who really want to like be here past the 6 months, how to get the visa. And two is like, hey, if like I said, they have to struggle to go to the states, so you guys have to put in a little bit of work. At least everything is done online, and don't risk it, please. Like there's been cases, people going to the airport trying to fly to Brazil, and then at the counter they're like, "All right, where's your e? I don't have an e. Oh well, we can't let you on this flight." It's like how now in the Dominican Republic, it's hard to get in with a one-way flight if you don't have residency. Am I wrong? Not wrong at all. I have no issue with the visa. $80 for 5 years, so be it. And it's worth it because then once you come down here, you can figure out what you're gonna do from there. You can be permanent. There are ways to be permanent. These visa laws are not the end of the world. My issue is the 90 days, right? It should at least be a year. That's my issue. It should at least be a year. But to apply for the e-visa, you need your passport, the online application form, a passport style photo 2x2, and $80.90. As of April 10th, so this has been in effect for about 2 weeks. Um, I just renewed my visa. Not my e-visa, my residency visa. Mine had expired in December. Went through the process to renew now. Now, granted, I'm just waiting for the card. While I'm waiting for the card, I have to show this paper. I do plan on leaving the country and flying back in. I don't plan on leaving before I get my card. That's about it. It's simple. Years ago, Brazil had the same visa process. They did. Yes, they did. And they are just bringing it back. I believe it was with the current president now. They had the same visa process, right? They had it with Lula. My cousin did not know. He tried to fly to Brazil, got denied boarding, met his now ex-wife in that line. Man, I don't know. I don't know if you could call that a blessing or a lesson. Um, Shit, yeah. Don't be that person. Show up at the airport with two suitcases and the hugs and kisses goodbye, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't board this flight." So, now, you guys think other countries will start following suit? I mean, these other countries where it's hard for the citizens to get in America. You guys see Colombia doing this? I don't know because I don't know if we could really say Brazil relies on tourism. They want tourism. They're working on getting tourism, but can you say Brazil relies on the tourism like Colombia or Dominican Republic? But the lines are open now. Any questions you may have or anything Brazil related, lines are now open. Any questions on the visa, any venting, any issues you have, um, Portuguese. Listen, if you're gonna come to Brazil, I recommend you guys gotta come to Portuguese. Not Spanish. Don't come to Brazil talking hola como estas. It happens. They will look at you crazy. Man, you know what? I don't know if you guys follow Dre Love Crossing Borders on Facebook or just the videos he puts up, but he's been in this mode where he's kind of putting up these episodes where it's like reason 599 to leave the state. Contempt of court for calling out the issues with the system. But isn't that freedom of speech? Listen, this is why I don't even go through the child support thing anymore, bro. I went one time. I had a lawyer. I went with, my proof of payments before I got filed against that I was doing what I had to do. Um, bro, that joint custody shit, bro, it's just nothing, bro, because I have joint custody and I've been trying to get my daughter to see me for years where I live and it just hasn't happened. My court order is I have to pay for my daughter and her mom, or the mom's family members, not none of my family members or friends, only the moms, which is ridiculous, right? Like I'm some type of criminal or something, or I have a family of criminals, and your cousin has to pay money every time to go fight, right? Nah, man, I'm not gonna spend money doing that. It's a man's world, but a woman's court. Yeah, I forget that. Hey, I'm gonna take a page out of Dre's book. If you're single, 24 and up, and you dream of having a family and you dream of having kids, um, don't do it in the States. You're better off having your kid overseas if you really want a kid. Even if you want to get married. We go through this all the time on the channel. You get married, don't bring them back. You want to have a kid outside. Because it's not set up for men to succeed in that system there. Bro, I've gone through that. That paper don't mean that paper means jack for real. Nothing, bro. Come on. And then me supposed to move overseas. I gotta keep white flag, white flag. Because the thing about living overseas is also a peace of mind thing. Great peace of mind. Don't got time to be. We love our kids, and to me it shouldn't be so difficult to be a father. You know, to have your kids. Now, there's guys that don't even like want to see a kid or try. Me, I'm trying to have my daughter come visit me in a country she's never been, to experience another culture. To be honest, I want to throw her in the middle of a pickup soccer game and just have her go back to the States and just beast or volleyball. But I want that time. And BS court orders like that or fake joint custodies, that really deteriorates the spirit of a man. And I tell people this all the time. If they're still young and single, do not do anything that will tie you in the States. Marriages, kids, you want all that stuff, bro, just go to Vietnam or the Philippines or Colombia. I don't know, Thailand. Thailand, they hit people over there. They hit people over there everywhere. But if I was in that mode where like, hey, I want more kids, I can't have more kids. I do my vasectomy out here for sure. But if I was in that mode where I was like, yeah, I want more kids, I would definitely have overseas. More benefits to having overseas. And you didn't enforce. But imagine if that was the other way around. Anyways, listen, yeah, don't let this visa situation deter you. Don't let this visa situation, for any country at that, be the reason why you don't travel or you can't leave. Now, I'm happy for it because if the Pookies don't do their research, then it keeps the Pookies away. I'm all about vetting, right? I'm all about people being vetted before they go to another country and embarrass themselves, or the people that are already living there. All for it. I got no issue with the visa, but just wanted to break it down for you guys. You do not have to show $2,000 in a bank account. You do not have to go to the Brazilian consulate. But if you do try to bring your happy ass to that airport without the e-visa, approved, ready to go, e-visa on green, you will be denied. By land, air, or sea. Any questions? Simple, yeah. Simple. It's not too bad, but good to be back on the airwaves. I'm always here to help out when it comes to all Brazilian things. I've been quiet, man. I know I've been quiet. I do upload my shorts. I do post on the Chopper Pod Instagram from time to time, but it's mainly shorts for me because I've kind of been in that mode where like living overseas has taught me more to want to be in the moment of things. To just be low key, tranquilo. Because while it is great to be informative and pass information and help people and give tips, not everybody's receptive of that, and part of being on the internet and part of you know being a streamer and talking and trying to motivate and push the masses is you'll get pushed back. And that type of energy, you're opening yourself to like the type of energy that you don't want to accept. It's kind of why I've been like quiet offline, um, more low key, just more enjoying the country. Like I said, I took a bus to Florianopolis. I'm gonna edit and put that video up. It was dope, man. Like I took one of those double decker buses, and it had like the bed. It was an 11-hour bus ride, so I left at nighttime. Basically, slept the whole time there. They say it's 11 hours on paper. It felt a little bit shorter, but a good ride. I would definitely do it again. If you don't want to fly, right? Say because if you don't want to fly to anywhere in Brazil, I'll recommend those buses. They're called they're the buses. They just Kama, like Kama Leche or Semi Leche, right? So like it's kind of like the chair reclines and then the front goes up a little. But me, I had the full bed, like my joint went all the way back. It was dope. First time doing it, I would do it again. I would do it again. Depends on the distance, right? I know people who do that to go to Salvador. I think they said it's like what 48, 72 hours. I don't know about that, but 11 hours on a bus with Wi-Fi and a bed style, I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool. So I put up some Floripa shorts also. You guys go check out the channel. Make sure you turn on the alerts, right? Turn on the alerts on your YouTube for Chop About TV. So that way you can get all the notifications for the shorts and any information that I'm putting out, or just some of the randomness that goes on here when you're living in Brazil. Like example, there's this street fair. It's kind of like a street fair slash farmers market that happens in the evenings every Tuesday. But you could go there and get everything from honey to produce to cheese to the tower beers and drinks and food and add yourself a cutie. Always something to do. And that's what I try to do with the shorts. With the shorts, just pour out videos fast. Yeah. From Sao Paulo to Rio to be cheaper. For me, I paid maybe about like depending what the dollar was, I think I paid like $78 for the one with the complete bed, the double decker. Buses are nice, people, like because riches, sometimes if you want to go to a city, that ticket will be like $300, and then the bus going there will be like 80. And you get to sightsee along the way. And buses are cool. Guys, please like the video. On your way out, it helps out a lot. It helps other people find this information that you have been fortunate enough to get live. Yeah, I made that error my first time going, choosing the double seat. But I sat next. My first time, I had a girl next to me spoke English, so that was that wasn't bad. But coming back to Sao Paulo from Floripa, I definitely took the one side. The one side bed. Sorry, man, we putting y'all on the game. Free game. $300 flight or $80 ticket with the bus and the bed. We do about 2 stops for like food. Bus has a bathroom. You never know what you might find on those buses. Had some joints on my buses. Yeah, bro. Exactly. Brazil is huge, man. Brazil is definitely huge. What's up, Mr. Wallace? I moved to the west side of Sao Paulo, Zona Oeste. Not too far from Pinheiros. Zona Oeste, West Zone. But I do want to switch apartments. The area I'm in now is cool, but Sao Paulo does this dumb thing where they're building all these apartments and complexes, but they can't have air conditioning. They're not built ready for air conditioning. You know what ends up happening? They end up having to pay somebody to come doing their study on the infrastructure of the building, change things around, pay money just to go into the infrastructure just for it to have this building and everything. That is mind-boggling. Brooklyn, what's going on? He says, I'll take the flight, bro. I can't relax when I'm there. Yeah, I mean, it ain't for everybody, but for me, I had a good experience. I had a good experience on the bus. I've taken a bus before to Rio, to get to Florida. Now, days, I can't do it. I'm with you on that. I'll take the plane. But the thing with Brazil and the plane, sometimes it fluctuates. Like the flights will be the same price as the bus ticket, or the flights will be $300, $400. You guys are funny. My profile picture is always my shot. What do you go to jail for anyway, which is yeah, I hope we covered up some things for y'all. I hope I resolved issues. But let's go over it. You don't need to show 2K in the bank for the visa. You need an e-visa to come to Brazil. There's no way around it. But for 5 years, costs $80.90. You don't have to go to the consulate place. You do it online. But if you go to the airport with a flight to Brazil, you don't have the e-visa. They will deny it. They are allowed to. I, for one, do not have a problem with this e-visa. I think it's fair compared to what the states ask for other people with tourist visa. I think it's fair. I forgot about that Gaga concert. Is this week or is next week? Man, it's about to be something. Wow. We about to be wild. I can't go blame you for one of that skills. We about to be madhouse. And the concert is cheap too. I think it's like 200 reais for tickets. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Good luck. What are you thinking about escaping this? Bahia? I've never been to Bahia. Watchers, where do you find yourself spending the most time in Sao Paulo? For me, it was Bella Vista because it's Bella Vista. When I first moved to Sao Paulo, I lived in Bella Vista. Um, how am I spending? To be honest, bro, around my neighborhood, I'll go to some malls, but I enjoy finding like the little Brazilian spots, like the little bodegas, the little bars, little restaurants, not the big flashy stuff. Um, I like those. I went to go visit a friend in Saúde, and we were at a bodega there, and we were just like literally sitting on like we had the tables on the sidewalk, and people like walking around us through us, and we were there, drinking, talking, having a good time. I like those type of neighborhoods. I like those type of vibes. And when I need to step, I need to go out. It all depends on the event, but it all depends. I could be in like the center of Sao Paulo. It could be something in I rarely go back out to the east zone. I go to the east zone when I have stuff to do with my girl. And my girls and my daughters out there. It's crazy because it's always like an hour and a half to my barber. But I can't find another good barber. I can't find another good barber out here in Sao Paulo. So I just think that. Those are just alright. You might find some. Okay. Know about living there. And open. Yeah, I'm looking for it. We do some joints around there. I won't. At least the two is about one. It's that little square like the Paulista or Augusta, Paulista. It always has like a good input. But places like that, which is I'm so glad I was able to pick up the rent. That was definitely one thing that was able to pick up. Oh no, man, I can't go to. I can't go to these countries and not know the languages as well. I go to Atacadistas. There's no need because they sell everything in bulk there, right? And I go there sometimes because you can find products there you can't find in supermarkets. Like I live right by Atacadista, and yeah, there's stuff in there like I'll go in there for like this girl, or I want to. But I rarely go to Atacadista because everything's in bulk and I don't do a lot of shopping. I live alone. Atacadistas are cool. I like. I go when I can. I was actually thinking to myself, I want to go there and rack up on some red light stuff, Gatorade Zero, do some protein shakes, and see the price of the house food supplies there. And for those who don't know what Atacadistas are, they're basically like your same stuff, or your price. Even though there is a same stuff. For me, the liberal life on top of the safety of issuing the just two points. I realize the more Latin normal. What Latin country would you recommend for someone? What part of Africa? Yeah. Yeah, but I understand what he means by Latin because I was just telling somebody that he was like, "Oh, Brazil is Latin, but it's not Latin." I just feel like Brazil is its own world. Sorry about that. I just feel like Brazil is its own world when it comes to being Latin. And now I was asking, you said it's too liberal, right? So what Latin countries do you feel is more like for you? Oi, Rafaela, boa noite. So Venezuela is, man, I was talking, I know I was talking to about this. Venezuela, I think I was talking to my boy Aaron about this. I want to go to Venezuela, man. That's definitely one place that I just want to visit, because ever since I was living in DR, just Venezuelans have really caught your boy's attention. Um, but I didn't know they were liberal like that in Venezuela. Is this? It's not safe for Americans to travel there, right? I believe there's still a travel advisory. You see, guys, I need to get y'all Portuguese. Listen, I ain't going front. One thing when I came down to Brazil and I didn't react on it because, with the experience of living overseas, I was like, hey, I gotta ask before I react. But I was conversing with a girl, this is like 2022, and she wrote me the letters KKK. And I stopped talking to her for a while because I'm like, nah, this bitch racist. I'm like, nah, she what the fuck she writing KKK to a black man for? But that's basically their version of LOL. So if y'all don't know, if somebody writes you KKK or two Ks or four Ks or five Ks, that's their version of LOL. Don't be me and not talk to somebody for a few days because you thought they was racist. I went to Chile, two racist, but the other Latin and South American countries are more man, women, kids, family oriented, all of them. And Brazil. Brazil's the outlier because it's Portuguese. Okay. So Chile is no. What about Peru and Uruguay? I feel Uruguay could be maybe a little bit racist because I had a situation with a Uruguay girl. Nice. Obrigado. Obrigado por aparecer aqui. Making fun of my Portuguese. Whatever. At least I speak it. About to hit that hour mark. Y'all getting y'all last questions? Getting y'all last questions, but it's been nice chatting with y'all. It's been nice. Hopefully, like this video. Support. Scrolling along the bottom there. What do you mean the same rainbow culture widowed? Yeah, Ricky, you know I'll be low key, man, just chilling, but I'll see about getting on. I just need more topics, more things to cover. You know, I'm trying to get. I've been trying to find some female English speakers to come on here and talk about dating here in Brazil. Why spend the culture makes sense. The oldest woman I've been with in Brazil, I'm 32. The oldest woman I've been with, she turned 37 in January, and we were dating for like 5 months. That's the oldest I've been. Now, I don't know if I would go that old again for a serious relationship for a number of reasons. But some of the reasons is like when a woman is that old and you're that young, I feel like there's just a dynamic, even if you're the man, even if like you're the man, they just won't freaking listen to you. Brazil is a Catholic country, but I think this last pope was like the pope that just passed. He was like probably the most open pope they've had in a long time, where he was saying, "Hey, be receptive of the LGBTQ community and so on." But Brazil's a Catholic country. That's not a bad idea. Co-host or open panel. I will ask who wants to do that. I need a female co-host, but the problem with the females here, man, they be. This is what I want to say about women. They be on Instagram doing who knows what. But when it's time for them to like sit in front of a camera and have a conversation, it's eu sou tímida, eu não quero, this, that, eu não falo inglês, this, I'm shy, blah, blah. That should be blowing minds, bro. But you're definitely right. You and Rick are definitely right. I should keep this going. Let's see what I can do. See what I can do. It's always good to hear this stuff from you guys. You know, even a few of you guys who are in here, you appear, you listen, you ask your questions. It's for you guys that I come on and I say, hey, you know what? Let me, you know, kill these rumors, or let me answer some questions, or just even vibe out. You know, just chat. Okay. Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, Thursday is a holiday in Brazil, so if you're in Brazil, um, there's probably going to be a lot of holidays, a lot of things going on Wednesday night because Thursday is a holiday. You got the day off. Dia do trabalho. The day of work, but they're not working. Go figure. Tough. And then June, you got the festival Juninha. It's like a it's just like a saint festival, but everybody like dresses up as farmers. I don't know. My experience. That's how I see it. Everybody dresses up as farmers. That's coming up in June. May, nothing too crazy going on. We just find out who's gonna be the second team playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I guess the Chargers. Okay. Morenby Shopping. That's Brooklyn. That was my second neighborhood. It's Brooklyn spelled Brooklyn. That was my second neighborhood. I like Brooklyn, but while I like Brooklyn, the apartments are small, expensive, and I definitely was like the only black guy in my building because not a lot of black people, unless you're like not from here, could afford to live there. So the neighborhood was like a little bit just like that. I didn't get any racist vibes, but you're definitely gonna stick out. Definitely gonna stick out. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the Amazon is one place I'll never go. I'm sorry. Too many. I feel like there's too many things there that could eat you. No, I'll never go to the Amazon. For me, that's it. But my friends, um, it's been nice. It's been real catching up with y'all. I'm gonna do what I can to be back on. Probably get a co-host. If anybody wants to be a co-host or talk, hit me up with some topics, whatever, on the email, on the Instagram. Still doing consultations for anybody. What's going on, Willie? Still doing consultations. Anything Brazil, but listen, y'all. Don't believe everything you see on the internet unless you do the proper research. Google what this video is for the new visa laws, which I agree with. And I have no problem with. You're not asking for a lot. And if it deters keeping poogies out, that's fine. Just think about it. Like Richard said, some people wait 10 years to get a tourist visa to the States. Like the process here for Brazilians, they have to show they have like a reason to come back. They have to either have an apartment or some type of job or you probably can't even have kids. I mean, I go to the nice restaurants here in Sao Paulo, and probably like there probably be times me and my friends like the only black guys in there. And you know what? End of the day, we pay the bill just like everybody else. So I give two shits. But I know what you mean. It all depends where you chill. Like I don't really go out to those areas where it's like it's obviously diverse, you know, except unless it's for food. But to chill, nah. And Sao Paulo is huge, man. I definitely feel like the further you get away from the city, the more love you get, especially like as a foreigner, especially as a black foreigner. Sao Paulo huge, man. But that's a good point, Richard. Remember that I'm not a black man. I would be considered so by Caucasians, but my race is Middle Eastern. Yeah, so here they'd probably consider you. I don't know what they would consider you as here. Once you get here, you're gonna have to do an experiment and let me know. But hopefully your move comes soon. I know we've been talking about this for a while. You've been trying to get down here. Hopefully your move comes soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the stream. Make sure you turn on the bell for the shorts, the notifications, the live. It's been real having you out here. Anybody watching this after, please like the video on your way out. Still support the channel. Going across the bottom. Yep, all of that. All of that. Definitely. So that's why when Brazil's asking $80 and you do a form online, it's like, all right, what are we complaining about? Definitely, bro. Definitely. I'm gonna put up a short tomorrow of the street fair that I'm at, and then a little bit of some more of the black coffee videos. Man, black coffee was out here. That event like healed my soul. Just that the Afro House. I love that. It was real cool. Real cool. But any questions you guys have, y'all find me. Shoot me some topics to come up here and talk about. I'll definitely see what else I can come back and talk about. It's been great. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night, blessed week, and a great start to May.